this is Sana Tasleem, and I am Country Manager, Pakistan, and Square Media. So today is a very important day, and today we want to discuss few important things, and the topic is IT program in Canada. Like why IT program in Canada is so much in demand, and of course, to pursue this session, I have invited one of my very good colleague. He's my good friend as well, and he's senior to me, and his name is David. So I would like Mr. David to please introduce yourself, and then definitely we will proceed with the session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sana. Good afternoon in Pakistan. Good morning, depending on where you are. Thank you so much for the invite. It's a pleasure to be here with you this morning to talk about IT programs in Canada. And I hope I can answer some of the questions that you may have, that the audience may have about these type of programs and about their characteristics and the importance in the overall industry at the moment. So again, thank you for having me.
Thank you, David. So before we start the session, I would like to limelight that this session is brought to you by MSM Unify. MSM Unify is a one-stop international education marketplace for your needs as a prospective international student, providing official information on thousands of program institutions and top destinations, free study gives, and article on virtually every topic within your study overseas journey. MSM Unify also connects you to the services you need in your journey, from student accommodation and loans to the scholarship to the payments and even internship opportunities. It has everything you will need under one roof. So I invite you to check it out today by visiting www.msmunify.com. Don't forget to visit this website. So let's start our today's session, and let's throw some important questions towards Mr. David, and let's see the answers. So yes, so David, are you ready?
Yes, I am, Sana. Go ahead.
Okay, so my first question is, please shed some light. Please tell us about like why IT program is in so much demand in these days, especially in Canada, because I've been like in fairs across the entire Pakistan. And recently I've seen that students are asking more about IT programs. Like they're asking, do you have IT programs offering in your partner institution? So do you want to say something about this, David?
Yes, absolutely. I think IT programs are in so much demand because, well, nowadays everything is related to IT. Everything and anything has an IT component. Even businesses are using IT, data analytics, data science, just to try to understand and just to make better decisions for their portfolios or for their products or for their marketing initiatives or for anything that they do within the market. So IT is involved in every single thing that we do, and that is why there is so much opportunity, and it is just not, I think, related to just programming itself or just networks itself. It's about industries like communications, it's about industries like manufacturing, or even electricity generation, which is one of the main industries in Canada. So I think IT is critical in every single industry across the board. And there is one important statistic that I wanted to share, and it's that from now until the year 2025, up to 1.4 million jobs in the IT fields just in the province of Quebec are going to be required in Canada. So this is just an impressive number that tells us that the IT industry is in high demand, that IT professionals are in high demand, and that they will have a potential for a permanent residency in Canada. Absolutely.
Wow, that's very interesting. But I wanted to know, like, which program, like, what do you think? Which program, like, is it like something JavaScript? Is it something like programming or language? Is it something cybersecurity? Which is it like more in demand? What do you think?
I think the programming part is really important. I think the networking, the network management component is pretty much in demand. Those are the two main ones because with the programming and professions like programming analysts or IT consultants, or for example, web developers or database managers or mobile developers. I think this is where the industry is really going and taking ahead. And this is where the majority of jobs are going to be in positions like developing applications for different types of businesses, or just managing databases just generally, or just creating websites and making them efficient and making them competitive within these virtual environments. So I think those are some of the professions that or areas or focus areas. Definitely data analytics, big data, those are two that are very, very important, and that can be applicable again to any type of industry, because even if you have a business background like myself and then you move on to having a, let's say, a master degree or a post-graduation certificate or a post-graduation diploma in the big data or data analytics type of fields, then you're going to be able to be extremely competitive. You're going to be able to mix that business background with an IT background. And then that is the type of professionals that industries all over the world, and particularly in Canada, are looking for.
Amazing, amazing. David, recently I was in, in a Pakistan biggest educational career fair, and everybody was asking me like, there was one course which was in high in demand, cybersecurity. And do
Mm.
you think that this demand is across the world? Like, obviously, you are from the somewhere like where moon is no more, the sun is there, and I am from the globe other side. So, what do you think that trend? What trend is on that side? Is it the same
Mm.
trend?
It is the same. It is the same. I think this is a global trend. I think IT professionals are in demand everywhere in the world, and particularly in those professions that we have just mentioned: website developer, database managers, mobile developers, IT advisors, network administrators, or even IT technicians. Those are just 6 examples on the type of professionals and on the type of areas that are in high demand everywhere. I see many of potential students in Latin America or in Canada, even, or in the US, looking for IT careers. And again, even coming from the business field, even coming from a health field, even coming from, I don't know, social work fields, they have realized that combining their two professions, they are going to be extremely competitive within their industries. For example, in the health care industry, you may have a, say, nursing or doctor's type of background. If you combine that with data science, data analytics, you are really proficient in terms of being able to manage a hospital, to run really big complex from the organizational perspective. So definitely, I think this is a global trend.
So I believe, regardless the industry, IT is very important. I have seen
Mm.
one trend, especially when I was in Middle East, that now students, even youngster, they are doing coloring through robotics. So what is it? Is this robotics? Is robotics studying robotics is a part of IT? Do you think that in future the entire world will be digital and there will be no more human need? Regardless the industry, even if they're, as I mentioned, if young people, they're doing coloring through the robots and they're using drones. So this is obviously everything is IT, but do you think that the world is gradually shifting from human to IT?
I think there is going to be a mixture. I think the human component is always going to be there, especially because of we are beings that feel and have emotions, and that is something that a robot is never going to have. For some specific tasks, that is ideal because they take out that emotional part, and then they can make decisions based on a script, based on a code, and that is important for critical or for really dangerous type of businesses or professions professions or activities or areas. But I think the human component is always going to be there, and robots and the robotic area always have to be there in order to support us, in order to support our day-to-day activities, our industries. And it's not just going to take over. It may be taking over some very specific tasks, high-risk tasks, but I see being it as a combination. And in terms of trends, it's really interesting because the other day I went with my nephew. He's 4 years old, and so his parents are looking for a school for him to start preparing kindergarten, then moving on to primary school and then secondary school. And one of the areas that this school that we visited is focusing on is particularly robotics. I was really surprised to hear that the robotics component is one of the things in the areas where these kids are going to be taught from 4 years and 5 years of age. So that your question is absolutely relevant because they have this emphasis on technology, on IT, on robotics, and on artificial intelligence from the age of 4 and from the age of 5. So definitely these are kids that are going to be growing up and going through school with a different mindset, with a different sort of set of tools to prepare them for their higher education. So I was really interested to see that they are going to have access to these labs. So definitely the robotics component is across the board again, from kids that are just starting school, from people that are part of really large industries and want to have these tools to make these jobs that are otherwise would be very complicated or dangerous for humans.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I believe the next generation and the trend that is now, which we all are going to follow, is to upgrade ourselves as per IT and as per robotics and whatever it's digital marketing related things. So which program do you think that our partner institution, MSM partner institutions are offering? What do you think, which is high in demand, which is the most running product, I must say that in our portfolio when we talk about in terms of programs, partner institutions. So which program do you have seen that is most sellable or most high in demand? So can you please comment on that?
Definitely. So I see two trends in here. I see the first trend is for professionals that have already undergone a bachelor degree in their home country. Say that they have already undergone a business degree or they have already undergone an IT degree, and they just want to pursue their next phase in their professional career in education, but they don't really necessarily want to enroll for a master degree. So these are the type of students that are looking for complementary type of programs, for programs that are efficient in terms of time, in terms of cost, and then can definitely generate some potentially migration benefits. And so we are talking about certificates and diploma programs that are 1 to 2 years in duration. And these type of programs are really helpful for students because they are effective in terms of the timing because it is a short type program. They are efficient in terms of the cost because they are cheaper than going into a master degree. And then they will be able to obtain their post-graduation work permit, which at the end of the day is a work visa. Is something that the majority of students wants. They want to have access to that. They need that so that they can recover some of the investment, so that they can put in practice everything that they have learned throughout that initial learning process. So that is the first trend. Programs that are short in duration, programs that are effective in cost, and we have many of them. Just to give you an example, Multi-Hexa College in the province of Quebec, in the north of the province, in the city of Saguenay, a beautiful small rural town in regional Canada, where our students can enroll for programming analysts or for network manager programs that are efficient in cost, that offer scholarships, and where they are going to have a wonderful experience. They can even enroll into these programs in English, and they can go into their franchisation process in parallel as they study. So this is the first trend. And the second trend is for those students that are looking for a more structured type of program, that are looking for a higher level type of program, say a master degree, say a PhD. And definitely we do have universities that offer those type of programs. And there are several options across the board in Canada, and of course in the United States as well. And I think it's important and relevant for me to mention that as well. There is one amazing university in Washington, D.C., Bay Atlantic University, that offers Masters of Science in Cybersecurity and Data Science, data analytics. And so these programs are wonderful. These programs are 2 years in duration. There are not so many admission requirements for international students. We offer very competitive scholarships. So I think that is just an example on how our students can really enroll for these type of programs and really have success within the classroom. Of course, if there are students that are just graduating from high schools, I think we would have a third cohort of those students that just want to go for their bachelor's degree in Canada, and we have plenty of universities for them to enroll in amazing engineering programs in the IT fields, in the IT professions, data analytics, again, data science, big data. We have an amazing university in Nova Scotia, Acadia University, that offers those type of programs. And in the United States, of course, countless options from Hawaii to Washington, D.C., where students can definitely enroll for these type of programs. So bottom line, Sana, we have a really wide offer. We have one offer that would fit every student needs, that are affordable, that have good scholarships, and that are flexible within the admission process. So definitely those are some of the options that we have.
Totally agree with you. Even the course or outline is now being offered to the students. I have seen and I've observed that when we were in colleges, it's like they've changed a lot. There's too much addition. Even if there is an engineering undergrad degree, and it will come always with a combination of IT, and it will become BEIT. So yes, it's really amazing and very rare courses, I must say, which you cannot find anywhere in Canada, and the one that our partner institutions are offering. And definitely you have highlighted absolutely wonderful. Wonderful. So do you think, David, that this trend of IT is just started right after COVID, or it was always been there? So what do you think?
No, I think it's always been here. I think maybe COVID and the pandemic just accelerated everything, because we moved from an on-site, on the ground, physical sort of interacting type situations and business dealings. And we went from that in pretty much January, February, March 2020 to a 100% virtual environment on the 1st of April. And we, I think, did that for so many months. In some parts of the world, that's still the case. In many other parts of the world, things have started to gradually go back to normal. So because we did that transition, everything turned to online features, online modalities. So I think that really accelerated and exacerbated the need for example, if a company was only running their physical shop, say a flower shop, after everything happened and we went on the online mode, they had to immediately react, immediately adapt, and turn to the online deliveries so that they could survive and still market their flowers, still market their arrangements, in this simple example. So they needed someone that developed their application within their portal. They needed a more efficient website. They needed a more sophisticated delivery platform so that people could order online and they could still get the money and they could still generate sales. So I think the pandemic and being in quarantine and being in lockdowns, I think just exacerbated everything. We just went, I think we did a leap of, I don't know, 20 years in 6 months in terms of IT development, in terms of IT needs. And which I am really excited for, because I was, before the pandemic, I saw so many businesses in this day and age that didn't even have like an app. They didn't even have a website. And I was like, why would you not have a website? It is critical. It is the most basic piece of information, because the first thing that you do when you're interested or when you're searching for a particular type of service or product is that you go on Google and say, I don't know, going back to the same flower shop example, flower shops in Pakistan, flower shops in Islamabad. And then if you don't have your website listed there, and if you don't have a SEO that is competing with other providers or other businesses, then you're basically off the radar from the people that is looking for you. So definitely the pandemic really helped businesses to figure that out and realize that. And now something I'm really excited and happy about is to see all of these businesses, small businesses, medium type of businesses, and really large businesses improving their websites, having an app, engaging with clients and customers online, having a chat box over WhatsApp. So they did it all in a period of months that could probably have taken them years to develop. So I think that is one of the good, things that we have left from this pandemic that is not over yet, but hopefully it is going to be very, very soon. So at least some things were not that bad, and we have really good lessons and positives from this whole situation that we just went through and are still going through.
Absolutely, you're absolutely right, and obviously totally agree with you on this point. So I myself believe that IT was always there, but now people are more familiar and they're asking more
Mm,
right after this COVID.
mm,
And
yeah.
yes, we have seen the students when we met them in the fair, they just ask for such courses. So that's today is the purpose to invite you and just ask certain questions that what is happening and what are the market insights. So thank you so much, David, for sharing the market insights. Anything that you would like to add further before we just close the call? Anything that you think that any message to our students while they applying, why they choose their career, which program they should choose while considering the scope in future? So anything that you would like to add?
Yes, absolutely, Sana. Well, first off, again, thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity to be here with you this afternoon, morning for me here in this part of the world. And the second thing is that definitely there are so many options, there are so many study options that have everything that our students are looking for: a really good location within Canada, migration possibilities, employment possibilities, even in some cases paid internships. Also, options that offer scholarships, options that offer programs that are really relevant and that are really aligned with the market needs and the industry needs of where these universities, of where these communities are located. So definitely the last thing that I wanted to say is that I want to invite everyone to ask questions, to get in touch with you, to check what the possibilities are, because definitely there is one possibility that it would definitely fit you and your needs and your career aspirations and your personal objectives. So definitely get in touch, definitely connect, and you'll see the wonderful things that Sana can do for you for sure. Again, thank you, Sana, for having me here. It's been a pleasure, and it's been really good to have this chat about IT and about all things related to international education that, of course, I'm absolutely passionate about.
Thank you so much for being here. It was absolutely wonderful, and thank you so much for sharing all the market insights. So yes, students, stay in touch with us. We'll be keep coming, and we'll keep sharing some good thoughts with you from our expertise. So yes, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.
Absolutely. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye bye.